everyone, this is Miss Tara D. And today we're continuing our work with infused oils. And we're going to try to take this a little step further. We are going to make herbal swab. I can never pronounce that word, but you will know what I'm talking about. Salve. Hopefully I said it right that time. This is the first time I'm ever trying this. However, you all know that the kitchen is kind of my altar sacred space. This is where a lot of the magic and ritual happens. This is all part of folk magic. And what we're going to do is, even though I'm going to be a little mixy, confused, double-checking, experimenting, it's still going to be ritual because we're going to do this with love and intention. So before we go any further, I want to invite our angels, our ancestors, and our spirit guides to join us, to keep us safe, to protect us, to fill us with white light, and expel our negativity or harm. And we invite positivity and love into our lives today. We also send positive intention that whoever receives these magical gifts will be blessed with healing, positivity, and prosperity. Thank you, angels, ancestors, and our spirit guides. Okay. So let me just explain some things that are here. First of all, I have my little instructional sheet that I found. It's different recipes that I found online, and I just kind of put it together to make sense for me. And we're going to make, we're going to try to make, it depends how much I get out of this. However, normally you can make approximately 4 2-ounce tins. And I got all this on Amazon. You need 8 ounces or 1 cup of infused herbal oil. Now, herbal oil that I made, and it's lemon, balm, and ginger. Okay? Then we're going to need 1 ounce of beeswax. Sorry, this is the beeswax, and I need about 1 ounce. I didn't open it. I should have opened it already. A double boiler that's behind me on the stove. I don't want to move it because it's already has some hot water. Clean glass jars or metal tins, 2 ounces. That's this. That's where we're going to put it in. Essential oils if desired. Now, the other thing you can put, because you aren't going to be able to put this on your skin and even on your lips, you could put the vitamin E oil into it. Yes, vitamin E oil is very, very good for you. So we're going to put some of that. Okay. All right. So that's the instructions. Here I have my lemon balm ginger. I have my measuring cup. And hopefully we can make at least 1 cup of oil. I really don't know how much is in here. So we'll see. And the measurements will approximate as we move further. And then here I have some other oils that I'm going to try to make later. This is lavender. And this is lavender and lemon balm. Okay. And then I don't know if you could see this, but this is the new recipe for Florida water that I'm making. And this is some leftover Florida water from the last video. And this is actually going to a very special person who asked me because their deity that they are devotee to likes this particular Florida water. And this is the last bit that I made, that I have from when I made it. So I'm going to send it to them specially. So they'll know who they are. And if they're really watching my videos, they'll comment. And if not, they'll be surprised. All right. Then we need a strainer. And I covered the strainer with some cheesecloth just to really get the little bits. And then I just put a little bunch of measuring spoons in case I needed them. And I have an extra cup here. I think I'm going to put my beeswax to measure this. I'll figure it out. I'm just trying to see 1 ounce, because that's 8 ounces. I'll figure this out. Sometimes you just have to experiment and approximate. You can't always measure. You just keep going until the ancestors say enough, and then you're done. All right, so I'm really excited. Oh, important thing, wear gloves, because this can really get oily. Have a towel underneath for spillage. You don't want oil. And then where I have the tins, I actually put them on a cooking sheet because they can get really hot and burn the surface. So, and also for spillage, you don't want oil all over your house. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And plenty of paper towels. Okay, have those accessible. So, I'm just trying to think ahead, and knowing that I'm working with oils, I'm just trying to really be prepared because I don't want oil all over my kitchen. It's for all of you who. You know how it is. It's like when you're frying chicken and oil splatters. It takes forever to clean that stove. And so we just want to make it as easy as possible for us, okay? Let me open this before we move forward, just so I have... These are actually, I thought it was hard, but they're actually pellets. So I have to really be careful. I didn't realize. Because it was vacuum sealed, it fell, I'm going to, I really wish I was better with measurements, because I only need 1 ounce. So that's a cup, that's a half a cup. Let me guess. I don't know 1 ounce, how much 1 ounce is. Because 8 ounces is perfect. So I'm going to guess that that's about 1 ounce for 1 cup. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. Okay, so let's start with this messy part. Ooh. Oh, I really tightened this hard. In my old pants, I can't do both of them. Let me try with this. Okay, we did it. Whew, that was on so tight. And I'm getting older and I have the arthritis, and sometimes it's just so challenging to do things. Okay, let me see what's in here again. I'm not really smelling the ginger much. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Okay, so far that's about a cup. So I think this is only going to make a cup. And 1 cup only makes 8 ounces equals 1 cup. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the dogs. So 1 cup is only going to make 4 of the tins. That's what it says. Which makes sense, because if it's 8 ounces and each tin is 2 ounces, that's 4. Let me get a spoon. Let me get a spoon. Let's put this out here, because we want to get all the oils that are in there. Mhm. Now I could see why oils are so expensive, because you really don't get a lot, do you? Okay. Now, for those of a couple of questions have come up from my subscribers. One is, why don't I wear drag when I do these? Well, because drag is expensive, first of all. And second of all, oh, this is a nice piece of ginger. Second of all, these projects are extremely messy, and I am not going to ruin a gown making these projects. I'd rather save my gloriousness, my fabulousness for when I do my lives. Look at that ginger. That was fresh ginger. Let me put some more in here. Let's see how much I could stick in here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So I think we got it all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little soap in here and some water and start to clean it. I probably will end up needing to use this jar during this process. So I want to make sure that it's nicely cleaned. Alrighty. Now we're letting this soak a little bit more. Let's let it drain. Oh yeah, there's still a lot of oil in here. Still a lot of oil. And by the way, wear gloves. You're going to see why in a minute. And I should have put on an apron. Let me put on an apron. This apron was made by my husband. This is his artwork. And isn't it cute? Look at that. He put his artwork on fabric. And he sells these at the Artisan Bazaar in the city. Let me put this on so I don't get oil all over myself. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Now, let's see if we can pull this together. And I'm going to move the strainer because I don't really need it right now because I have the cheesecloth. Oh, do you see that? Can you see that? Look how much oil is still in there. And this is why it's great to have a cheesecloth. Now remember, we're just experimenting today. This is something new, a hobby. I encourage all of you to try it. It's just fun, you know? Especially now that it's winter and you really can't go out and you want something to do at home. And then they make wonderful holiday gifts. I plan to make some of these for my coworkers as well. Ooh, look how much oil. I'm sorry if this has taken a while to squeeze out. Oh my God. It went from 1 cup to 2 cups. Okay? So now if I had just taken this and thrown it out, I would have lost a whole cup of infused oil. And I don't want to do that. What a waste. Okay. I think I got it all out. I don't feel... I'm squeezing and squeezing. Oop, I almost ripped it. Okay. I'm going to put this in my sink. Look at this. Can you imagine? We have 2 cups exactly. All right? So, and it's already oily and messy. Let's just be tidy and clean. By the way, before I turned on my camera, I did physically and spiritually clean my space. And I like to do that whenever I do. Well, first of all, I'm a clean housekeeper. My husband would object to that because he says that he does most of the cleaning. Okay. So that means if we have 2 cups, I'm going to need 2 ounces of beeswax. Okay, a little bit more. Now, mind you, I am really guesstimating. So I hope I'm doing this right. I think so. I should have really figured it out better before I started this on this. How much do we put in here? All right, we're going to take a pause here because I need to move the camera over to my stove. And that's going to be a little tricky, and I don't want you all getting dizzy watching. So pause. Everyone take a bathroom break or a bio break. Get yourself a hot tea, a hot coffee, or a cold drink, and we'll be right back. Friends, I hope you took a little break. And we're going to start our next process, okay? So remember, we're making salve. So we're going to have to put the herbal oil, back on the stove, and I put it into my version of a double boiler. The reason is, with a double boiler, you have the water inside, and it heats up the top pot without direct heat, because you don't want your herbal oil to burn. So I had the water simmering, and it's warm, and then I have my chopstick, because I don't want to use a metal spoon, simply because I don't like to use metal when I'm working on this is ritual. So I use these to do is my beeswax. And I'm putting that in, and I do hope that I measured this correctly or enough, because the beeswax, when it cools and hardens, it's what makes it creamy. Okay. And I'm going to, let me just try to show you all. You see that? And I'm just going to stir it until it all melts. And it might take a couple of minutes. In the meantime, we can just continue to socialize. Now, I have to be honest. This oil has been infusing for 4 to 5 weeks. And I'm really surprised that it hasn't picked up the fragrance of the lemon balm the way I want it to. Okay? I want it that when I open up this tin, you smell the lemon and the ginger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add bergamot essential oil. And the reason why is because I didn't have lemon, but this kind of has that nice citrusy smell like a lemon balm. So, and it's pure plant extract. So I'm going to add some of this. Oh, look, it's melting nice. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to add the vitamin E oil. So I'm stirring like the videos that I've been watching on YouTube that teach you how to do this, so that the beeswax doesn't harden in the pot, which it shouldn't because I have the heat on. But it also makes sure that it melts evenly. Part of me, I want to put a little bit more. I don't know what it is. Just something in me just wants to add a little bit more, just a little bit. I hope it doesn't come out like a brick. But like I said, we're experimenting, correct? And the whole thing is, if it doesn't work out, throw it out. Throw it out. See where you made your mistakes and try it again. You know? The whole part is, don't worry about being perfect. Just worry about having fun, you know? Because your energy is going into this. Your energy and your intentions are constantly going into this. And if you're anxious, if you're stressed, if you want it to be perfect, that's going to affect your ritual. And that is going to transfer to the person who receives the gift. So you always want to come to a place of peace and joy and harmony and fun, right? Because we all need fun. So that when they open the gift, they receive all those positive emotions. Okay? Are you starting to get a sense of how folk magic works? Folk magic is just being in your home with your ancestors and your culture and just creating ritual with love. Now, when I say folk magic, I practice Italian folk magic because that's my culture. I was born in Italy, and this is where my ancestors are from. However, every culture has their own folk magic from their ancestors, from the indigenous people where they come from. So those, and for many of us, we have similar rituals, and then we have different rituals. Now, I warn everybody, do not co-opt someone else's rituals unless you've been with that culture, you've learned from that culture, you've basically been given permission by that culture to use their rituals, okay? Because other than that, that's appropriation. And that's really not nice. Like, how would you like it if somebody came into your home and just took your ancestral blankets or baskets or gifts, because they wanted to use it in your home? So it's the same thing with ritual and magic, okay? All right, this is done. Now, my only thing is, it's brown. So whoever receives these, I hope you don't think it's yucky. I was hoping that it would be nice and clear, but unfortunately, it's brownish. So I apologize. Okay. So now I'm keeping it on the stove because I don't want it to harden real quick. I do want to put in my bergamot just because I want it to smell a little bit nicer. That does smell a little better. And now I want to put in my vitamin E oil. I'm just going to put there we go, just enough so that you could feel it in the 2 cups. All right, so here we go. I have my tins ready on my cooking sheet. Okay, I hope you could see it. And I'm going to try to be very careful. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to use one of these little measuring cups because it'll be easier than me trying to pour from a pot. Okay, so let's see. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Yes, this little measuring cup is working quite well. Oh, I hope you're excited as I am. And please, leave comments. If you are an expert at making these oils and you have suggestions, ideas, I am open to it because I would like to make more in the future because these are really cute gifts. And I can see how you can make these kind of oils and salves seasonal gifts. So maybe in the springtime, you can make more of a floral type infused oil. Maybe in the winter, the hard winter, when it's really cold and your skin dries, you might want to put shea butter. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud because different ideas. This is how you get your creative energies going. And I'm glad I put this on a cooking sheet because I am making a mess here. But it's a fun mess. It's a fun mess. So one of my friends, Nancy, from Nancy's Crone, she said she had the kindest words for me. She said that when she watches my videos, she feels like she's sitting across the table from me and we're having tea and just chatting. Now, isn't that a beautiful compliment? And I appreciate that because that's how I feel when I'm making these videos for you. I feel like you're in my home, you're in my kitchen, and we are spending time together. When I was young, and I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, and we always used to have the doors open, and the neighbors, especially on a Saturday, they would just come and knock on the door, and they would bring some cookies or a little pastry, and my mother would make coffee, the espresso. And they would just sit down for a couple of minutes and chat. And I remember as a young kid, because you always had to go and greet the elders. But that was polite. You had to go say hello. And I remember they would always bring extra cookies for us. So, because they cared about us. I am actually, do you know that I am making more tins than I thought? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tins already. And now I can lift the pot. Let me just wipe it so that there's no water. And I had such fond memories of being a child and spending time with the neighbors. And I'm sure many of you have had those types of experiences. And that's what community is all about. And that's also why I love the Facebook community. I'm sorry, the YouTube community. I don't want YouTube to get angry at me that I used another social media and they cancel my channel. Oh, I am so excited. I thought I was only going to make 12 of these. I can't believe how many I've made. I'm going to have to count again. This is really amazing. Let me just see. Wow. Put a little bit more in this one and a little bit more in that one. And you know what? I said they were brown, but they really don't look so bad. And they do smell lovely. I don't want to touch them right now because they're very, very hot. Let me just count them. I'm going to move them a little with my, because I'm a little OCD and I like things to line up well. I'm sure some of you can understand that. All right. And then I'm also going to take a picture so I can add it into the video. And I want it to look pretty. Yeah, so that's a little bit of my practice and where it comes from. Okay, I have to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of this because it's gorgeous and it's so professional looking. But do you see now why I can't do this in drag? First of all, many of my dresses are very free-flowing and light, and I could just see it catch fire. Ooh, can you imagine seeing Miss Tara D running around her kitchen on fire? I mean, I'm hot shit to begin with, but that's really exaggerating it. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have, what is that, 18? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we go. There we go. 18 gifts that we can give away. I am really excited. I want to... All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to let them cool, and then I'm going to come back in a little while and show you what they look like as a finished product, okay? So take a minute, go take another bio break, get some more coffee or whatever, a biscotti, and we'll see you in a short while, because this is an edited video, so there it is. But you can pause it, okay? All right, ciao. Welcome back, dear friends. I hope you had a restorative little break. And it's been about 30 minutes. And all the tins have cooled. And actually, I am extremely pleasantly surprised. Remember when I said they looked brown and murky and I wasn't really happy with the color? Well, actually, they've dried more of a yellowish. And considering I'm using the lemon balm, I'm really happy with it. So let me show you. Here's, as you can see, this is my tin. Look how many we were able to make out of 2 cups of lemon balm infused oil. And let me bring it closer. Look at that. Can you see that? And look, I'm going to turn it over. I hope it's hard enough, but let's see. Oh, look at that. And look how pretty they look. Don't they look beautiful? And of course, because they're made by Miss Tara D, they're going to have a little purple tin. And I'm gonna put a little label on the bottom that's gonna say the ingredients. So this way you know what's in it. Okay, my dear friends. I am really, really happy that you spent time with me and creating this hot mess, but fun mess. And I thank our angels and our ancestors and our spirit guides for being with us, for sharing space with us, for creating this ritual space for us. And I send you many blessings and light. And let me see, did I forget anything? If I did, I'm going to put it in the comments. I do have a couple of thank yous. Once again, for those of you who heard it before. I want to thank Selena, Essence of the Moon, who gifted me with the herbs that we use today. I want to thank Joey, Vale Cottage Witch, who's inspired me to work with oils and herbs. Her channel's amazing, and she's really the one that got me interested into the point where I could say, hey, I can do that. And I just learned so much about the different herbs and how useful they are. Then I want to thank my dear friend, Mary Grace from Rue's Kitchen, who practices folk magic like me, and she's gotten me to a point of really, how can I put this? Really even though I always practiced folk magic, it was a way of living. It wasn't really anything structured or formal, but she's helped me to really focus in on it and really, really connect with the ancestors through her Rue's Kitchen and her books and everything. And okay, and what else? Oh, give me here. I'm sorry, I meant to bring this out early. This is Mary Grace, and she's going to kill me because I still haven't learned how to pronounce her last name. It's a married name. It's Faron, I think. I apologize. But look, this is her new book, and I am reading it and loving it. And I like to take notes and highlight pieces that really connect with me. And we are going to be doing a live together. So look on my playlist by the time you all watch this or maybe rewatch it. Her and I have done the live together. So keep an eye out for that video, okay? All right. So I want to say goodbye and ciao and blessings and light to all of you. And I'm going to say, and a special thanks to my husband, because he left me alone today to do all this, because he doesn't like all the smells. So he decided to leave for the afternoon so I could work on this. And of course, for his beautiful apron. All right. Bye-bye. Blessings and light.